Hello and welcome to JK, It's Not About You. I'm Jen Rouse.
And I'm Kelly Mirko, and we're your hosts. We're new empty nesters, and we're here to talk about what the next chapter looks like.
For so long, we were taxi drivers,
Domestic engineers, chefs,
tutors, cheerleaders,
and everything else that goes along with being a parent.
no days off, no paid vacation, and very limited time to pursue our own passions. It just wasn't about us.
It really wasn't. Join us on this new endeavor as we find passions in all things empty nesting. The little birdies have flown the coop and they're living their best lives, and now it's our turn. We're sweating through our 50s trying to figure it all out.
From resetting on marriage, navigating divorce, dating at 50, we're here to reclaim our calendars, our bodies, and our newly found identities in this confusing yet exciting new phase of life.
So grab your glass of wine or beverage of choice, your cozy sweats, and join us as we unpack all things real in our 50s.
JK, it's not about you.
It is not about you.
I finally have you back.
I know, we are in person. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a really long time.
Hi.
I miss you. Plus, I haven't even seen my friend.
I know. It's been like a month.
We have a lot to catch up on. And
She
Maya
misses
is
me.
really happy to see you.
I know. Hi, little girl.
I know.
We've missed each other.
I know.
We've
So,
missed each other.
We missed each other.
It's been a whirlwind.
I can't wait for summer.
I know. It's going to be a great summer. I know.
You're
I say it
already
every year.
tan and beautiful. So
Thank
where have you
you.
been?
We went to Palm Desert. We, as in all of my cousins.
So how many?
There's 9 of us, but 8 of us showed up.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
My
lost
cousin
one.
Mark didn't quite make it.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. I know,
Okay.
I know. But we had a great time.
80s.
It was
Pool.
pool. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. It was good to see everyone for a happy occasion, versus
People always get together for sad things.
our
It's true.
age, we do.
Yeah.
Especially when there's so many of us. So
Yeah.
it was nice to do something that was a celebration, and it was a great weekend. Had a good
I love
time.
David. He's so nice.
David's so great. My cousin Pam's awesome. And her
Oh, it's
husband
awesome.
Mark, and all of them. So I don't want to leave anybody out, but everyone was there, and it was just a lot of fun. So
I love it.
nice to be in the heat.
Love
nice
it.
to get a little color.
It's so nice. Well, it's definitely was winter again here, and where I was
I know.
winter again.
Yes, you were in Mammoth.
I was in Mammoth, and I
for a long time.
was there a whole week.
Yeah.
And we drove out. It was like an 8.5-hour drive. Nate drove both ways, all the whole way.
Wow. That's awesome.
And he's a great little driver.
Yeah.
And you know how I just do not like driving and
Yes.
passing trucks and the whole thing. So he did it all.
That's great. His truck or your car?
My car.
Okay.
We were comfortable.
Okay.
We and we, it was really enjoyable to have that time with him in the car.
Was it just the two? Well,
And we had
yep.
Aiden with us, and we listened to the Let Them Theory, which is today's episode is
Yes.
about, which I know you finished. We started.
Yeah.
But I started over to make sure I was really focused. Mel Robbins is bestseller, new book. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, everybody.
I love it.
And my compliment to you is I had my therapist this afternoon, and I said, Kelly has been implementing this theory for her life as long as I've known her. And she's really good about it. Like
Thank you.
having like boundaries and having a voice and having, maybe you have an opinion, but you keep your opinion and you let people have their opinion, and you really are good about navigating that.
It's hard, and I try to, work on it all the time, but I just had to make some choices when I was young, and so I had to learn to do that at a younger age. Not that I knew it was the Let Them Theory, but just
it was. It was.
Apparently, yeah. I'm so glad that you read the book.
I thought
and
of you the
finished
whole
it.
time, because down to the letting the kids in your bed, I failed everything. She did that whole thing about her daughter having the anxiety. I worked it out and I did it my way and whatever. But a lot of things for me, especially the relationship part.
Yes.
With friends and relationships and having that sadness around people, I think, like not being picked and not being chosen and not being loved,
Yes.
Yes. And
I
not
do.
wanting to disturb the apple cart and not wanting to hurt people's feelings and not wanting to, all of that was really hard for me growing up and now. And I look back at all of my friendships, relationships, whatever you want to call them. And if I had known to be able to do that, like if they want to be mad at you, let them.
Yeah.
And they'll get over it, or they won't. And the people that really want to be in your life, stay.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
It's just yeah. It's like a great solid thing to take away. I mean, there's so many takeaways obviously from that book, but like you need to live the best version of yourself, and you know that you're doing good and you're doing right and you're honoring what's important to you and what you believe in, and other people are allowed to do the same, and it's not going to necessarily line up all the time with you, but it's okay.
Right.
And as much as it's okay for them to do that, and you want to accept that in everyone, but you don't allow yourself the grace to do it for yourself.
It's really been eye-opening, like,
and
to learn that lesson in my 50s. And
it's such a great lesson. And I would also say a difficult part of that is learning how to do it. It's hard to set boundaries nicely.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And that's, I think, like a really challenging
I actually
part
just
of it.
said that.
You did?
Uh-huh. I said, I panic and blurt it out and get angry and get mad. And it doesn't come from like a calm, diplomatic place.
Yeah.
And I'm working on that.
Yeah.
That was exactly what we talked about today. Funny that you should, of course, you know me so well. Like, well, I don't have to even explain to you what's going on with me because you always know what's going on with me. Like, it's for other people. Yeah, like I found myself in the lodge.
Okay.
They've been really proud of me. Mm-hmm. And Mammoth, all the parents, all the parents.
Yes, got it.
We're up on top. I'm looking at the course. The morning of the competition, we got there very early thinking that the girls were going to go first. The girls had a panic attack. It was very windy. The conditions were very scary. A bunch of them decided they weren't going to do it.
Oh, wow.
So they swapped it. Nate was in the middle of eating his donut, and they were like, get dressed, boys. You're up. And he's first to drop.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So he goes up, falls. Not good.
Okay.
Comes down, is limping. And I'm looking out the window and I see the boot coming off and I see the whole thing. And I'm like trying to call him, not answering, mad. You have Elias. And I'm just trying to find out, like, did we break an ankle? What happened?
Yeah.
I'm like, answer your phone.
Yeah.
And
can you see him?
Oh, yeah. Seeing him right out the window, ignore me.
Okay.
Let them, right? He's having a complete moment. And it was so hard for me to differentiate. I was like, oh my God. And Aiden was there. And I said, do you think he's hurt? Like, do you think he's really hurt? And he said, Jen, I think he just needs a minute. And if he's hurt, he's mad that he's hurt.
100%.
Said, okay.
That's so spot on.
And that was part of this let them. I started panicking and I started getting that mad, like, oh my God, just answer your phone. I'm your mom. Like, I just want to know you're okay. And I'm running down and I'm grabbing ice and I'm like, we got to ice the ankle. And he literally is sitting, this is Nate. He's sitting in the chair next to me. He finally comes up. He's sitting in the chair next to me. He's like, my ankle hurts. And I'm like, okay, here's ice, right? And I'm trying to talk to him. And I swear to God, Kelly, he has the helmet on, the goggles on, the face mask on, everything is on, and he will not speak.
He was dead.
And we're in the lodge. And I'm like, can I see your eyes? Can we talk? He's so my son. Let's run, let's hide, let's not speak. Let's and I thought, this is how he's processing.
He's trying to gather his thoughts together.
And I'm like, oh my God, do we need Advil? Do we need Tylenol? What do we need? Do we need CBD? Do we need, and I am like,
I'm going to go get my kit. I'm going to go get my kit out of the car.
do you need a snack? Are you hungry? Did you
Always
eat?
need yeah, snack.
The kids would melt down. When they were young, you young parents will know. When Kelly and our kids were young.
The first anything was, do you need a snack? Always.
Blood sugar.
Always.
It's always a meltdown reason.
You trip and you fall. It's okay. Have a snack. It's okay. It's okay. Here's ice and a snack. You're grumpy, have a snack. Everything was have a snack.
It's true.
It is true.
I wish I could solve bigger problems now with a snack.
I know.
It's like those days are over.
No, but it is. It's a good thing to let them, because what we know, and that we're very lucky and we have to remember, is that we are always our kids' first call.
Yes.
And you know that. And if Nate was hurt and needed something, or anybody,
like he really hurt himself,
he would call you.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. Which
is awesome. So many parents do.
There's real life instances of, you're not gonna, he is.
You can't control it.
I can't. And he was mad that he didn't perform well, and he was mad.
Did he do a second?
He fell again.
Okay.
It was not a good comp.
And how
big error. He went for it, and
was that the same day?
No, next day. And practice was great again. Landed everything, and I ended up having a really good, the revisit talk about, and Aiden was really great with that too. Like, look at all these tricks you learned this year. Look at all the things you accomplished this year. And I think, like, even me, like, that's hard for me. Like, I still feel trapped in some of my demons and some of my problems and some of my, like, in my head, and a lot of my, like, insecurities. And I feel like I haven't made progress, but I have.
Jen, you have made, number one, you're human.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with that. Number two, all of those feelings are normal. And just because you work through something and you're better doesn't mean you don't have 500 more things. You're constantly working on something, which is why you're such a great person, because you're not like just.
But I aim to be the communicator like you.
But
that's the goal, because if I can communicate like you, and even, get 50% better.
Okay, let me just say something. Your next book is Atomic Habits.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm just one thing I'm going to say about it is it talks about, like, the 1%. So people are, generally very discouraged because they don't see immediate results, or they've worked at something for 2 weeks, call it, and they don't see a result. So it's so much easier to say, fuck it, or retreat back, or just do it a little, kind of start to not do it so much anymore. And then you're back kind of where you started, right?
Yeah.
We all know the pattern. And this guy, God,
the author of the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something clear.
We'll put it in the notes.
It's famous. Everyone's reading it like this.
Like
Mel
this.
Robbins.
I got, okay. I will read it.
Okay. Yes. But if you improve at something, and I'm going to use exercise as an example, because for me it's relevant and it's been working. But
imagine that.
Imagine that. Listening. Imagine fucking listening to people, not thinking I know everything I'm doing. Okay. So, but you could do 15 sit-ups. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I want to do this program that you have to do 100 sit-ups, but I can only do 15. And I'm bummed because I really want to do this 100, and all these other people, they don't look any better than me. They're all doing 100. So tomorrow I did 18. And the day after that, so I was improving by 1%.
I like it.
And you know what? At the end of 90 days, I was doing 100. This is not true. I'm not doing 100. And I haven't done 90 days of
I don't know.
shit.
Your abs are pretty ripped, though.
But I've been doing ab specific workouts because that's something that bothers me. But but accomplishing 1% versus saying I need 50% now is just so much more obtainable.
Right.
And so I think a lot of times we set these like crazy expectations or very short time periods and frames to allow ourselves to do something,
I think it's like, I see that so easily for my kids, being the mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Sure.
see it. It's so hard for myself.
No, it is hard.
It's so hard for myself.
But anyone that knows you and knows what you've gone through in the last, I'm going to call it 15 months. I mean, really the last like 8 years, but I mean like the last 15 months since you've been out of it.
Yeah.
I think that we've seen nothing but progress.
That's my close friends, family, like people that love me,
Yes.
Yeah.
And that should be you as well.
Yeah.
Because
I'm getting there.
You've done, I mean, I'm so proud of you. You've done
you.
so many great things and you've made a lot of hard decisions, and your heart's different than my heart than his heart.
Everybody has hard.
Yeah. So,
and I think, and it's like, learning this next phase of our lives, really this empty nest phase, Mel Robbins talks about it in the book also, like, okay, now what? Now you're like, okay, this whole job that I've had, and this really was my entire being.
Yeah.
Was raising these people.
It was your identity.
It was
your identity.
And, to have, of course, I had a midlife crisis in my 40s. That's, I think, fairly normal for women.
Yeah.
But I'm like having another thing like of this and wanting to be the best version and wanting to like really accept my faults and notice them and make changes and really do want to be better, Yeah.
And I honestly feel the same way. I do. I that's why we say we're trying to figure it out.
I know.
Like, and we're going to fall a little bit and we're going to learn a lot either way, even when we fall. But, it's okay. And, it's, what are they saying? It's get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're not growing unless you're uncomfortable, it's just so true.
It really is.
You got to get a little uncomfortable in order to grow. And I'm like, okay. And this is like, instead of trying to hold on to these last little bits of these kids, it's like, I need to really start focusing. I watched our
boys make dinner plans last night.
Oh, that's so sweet. Where'd they go?
Here.
Oh.
I went down to console Jody to give her a hug, and we went to her, and I drove down there and I went and had dinner.
Yeah.
At a little local thing by her house. And Nate, I just said, you're on your own. And he called up Elias, and they
went to the shed or what?
They got takeout.
Oh.
And they hung out and they watched the dog and, but I'm like, our days of orchestrating everything is over.
No, I just tried to orchestrate something on Saturday. Elias went to this wedding and he insisted on wearing the suit with the black tie and the white shirt that he wore for prom.
Oh, man.
And I said, Elias, we got to try this whole thing on. And he goes, Mom, it's going to fit. It's going to fit. I said, listen, instead of looking like a detective or like someone from the IRS, I said, go to Nordstrom. An accountant. I said, go to Nordstrom and go because I was in California.
Yeah.
Go to Nordstrom. They will help you. That's what they're good at.
Yeah.
Go get a shirt, get a tie.
Yeah.
He walked into Nordstrom. Oh, he walked into Nordstrom and he walked right the fuck out of there. He goes, I don't need this. Oh. Swear to God. Did he send a photo of him and this girl? I'll show you. Adorable.
And he looked great.
I look great.
Did it fit?
It fit. He looked just like he did at prom.
Oh, God.
Nate has the same outfit.
Nate would do the same thing. I don't need that.
I don't need that.
I mean, we don't need swim shorts, but they're like...
things are not where they're supposed to be.
I asked him because I'm taking him with me. He's coming with me to go
to California. Yeah.
And I go, Jason's going to want to take you to the beach. Do you have shorts that fit? Oh, I have stuff that fits. So I'm like, okay.
Mom, can we go to Billabong?
Let them.
Yeah, let them.
If they want to wear shorts that look like mini shorts, let them.
He's going to be like, Uncle Jason, can I borrow a pair of shorts?
I swear.
I know, but it's true.
It's crazy. But this is, it's a really,
It's good for us. It's good for us
I'm
because we
learning.
want to, what I would say to people out there that are not 50, that
Yeah.
still have the kids at home, to, like, prepare yourself a little bit, like I didn't. I mean, I've always worked a little bit as well. So I
Yeah.
have that going on.
yeah.
But I was not prepared for a lot of things.
Well, you were really, really tight with Missy and having her so far away. And
It's hard.
it's hard.
It's just far.
It's far.
It's far. But
like, it's just one of those things that you just, no matter, it's kind of like, when people, you get pregnant and you like, everybody can tell you everything about it and how you're going to feel and what's going to happen and your birthing plan and all of this. And then you get pregnant and it's nothing like what they said.
No.
And it's a completely different experience.
Yes.
And I feel like empty nesting has become this for me.
Yeah.
Like I watched you. I remember when you told me the lunch scenario was going to end when the driver's license came. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're like, you are going to be sad when you're not up making these lunches.
I know. And
I am not. I'm not making lunches.
I know.
And I am sad some
I know.
days,
Yes.
And the nicest thing Nate did on this trip, I will share, is he came back after boarding and I found this great athletic club by myself.
Okay. Nice.
I went every day. I spent hours there. Okay. They had a steam room, they had a pool, they had a stair climber, so I just spent my days like walking or working out or whatever. And I came back and did like his laundry. I went grocery shopping. You won't believe this. I have to tell you this because of firewood.
Oh.
In Bishop, at the Vons, if anybody drives through Bishop, they have Snake River Farms meat at the butcher.
No way.
The butcher had no teeth.
That's okay.
He looked really scary.
I know.
But I saw the meat.
And you bought it.
I bought it. We had steaks and potatoes.
What they have? Like what steaks?
They had Wagyu.
Yeah, but they had fillets or
ribeyes. They had New York's, I think, a whole selection.
That's
and
amazing.
the guy said to me, if you love this, ma'am, if you're really going to buy this, I have some amazing fish I just got in.
Oh, really?
So I bought that too.
What was it?
Like a salmon, which I know you don't love, but it was like a beautiful salmon. And I got that and some I was like, here I am in Bishop shopping.
That's awesome.
But I came back, made dinner, whatever. And Nate just looked at me and I just said, here's all your laundry. Here's this. He goes, Mom, I love it when you're on these trips.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
I love it when you're on these trips.
Oh, yes.
Makes me so feel like home. And I said, you know what? That was worth it. All like
100%.
100, right?
Yeah. No.
And
I know. No.
so,
I love that. I love that. Elias is competing in 2 weeks in Colorado.
Nice.
And I booked our situation and I called Melissa. She's like, what are you doing? I go, I just signed Elias up for his comp in Colorado. She goes, oh, you signed him up? I go, yeah. She goes, when is it? I go, the first weekend in April.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, we're going to fly out. And then, she goes, she goes, we are still going to comps? I go, well, yeah. She goes, he's in college, Mom. I go, I know. That's why I'm going. I go, because I never get to spend time with him.
Why not?
Why wouldn't I go?
Right.
And I'm just so excited because I get to go to Whole Foods. I
want to go on one of these.
I know. We get to go shopping.
Send me the schedule.
Okay. I need to get the schedule.
I really want to go.
But we get to shop and we get to like cook breakfast.
It's moments like that
and
I
pack
really...
his little ISO bag.
I love him so much. I missed him yesterday. I didn't get to see him.
Who puts the Kind bar in Nate's pocket when you're not there?
Exactly.
I know.
I mean, they manage.
I know they manage. Which is fine,
and that we did our job, but it's sure nice to do it when we can and like be there and enjoy. Like you can't.
In the meantime, you got to get your own shit going on.
Yes, because otherwise you're like me.
No, I get very sad too.
But you have other things going on. And this podcast I love talking to you. I love being with you. So it's like not
No,
work.
this is great.
And it's not work.
I know. Well, that's the best type of work.
I know.
Actually.
So finding that and I do want to take up some pickleball.
Me too.
This summer
I was looking up, there are some beginner clinics.
Amazing.
So we need to just like sign
and
up.
I wanted to
for
ask
6
you
weeks.
if you would want to do a ladies golf.
Can I drive like the beverage cart or have to
Yeah.
like
Well,
participate?
you can participate. We can take a little lesson, learn to play golf, learn to play tennis. I think we need some of these sports, Kelly. Well, I have to meet a guy.
Okay.
So I have to like actually engage in some of these activities. So
Pickleball, I would try. Why don't we start with one?
Okay.
Pickleball, because that could take up a lot of time.
Yes.
Between hiking.
And Amy plays. So you know a lot. We know people that play.
Yeah. But there's these like clinics that are for beginners.
Okay. We have to do that. Can we do that together?
Yeah. We need to. Yeah.
We could document it for you so we can tell you how hard it really
that's
is.
going to be entertaining. That's going to be awesome.
Well, we have pictures of some mammoth stuff that we'll share on Instagram and everything because it's funny. We went bowling, and if you have anything from Palm Springs to share, it could be funny.
I might have some.
Some
photos on the bikes.
So we'll show you if you're listening. It'll be
it'll be a good time.
Instagram,
but if you have any questions about this, where we are with empty nesting,
and to let them. Any
highly
I think a
recommended.
Lot of people,
I know that it has been by millions of people, but another stamp of approval.
I really liked it. I liked her sense of humor. I liked, her analogies and she admits to having.
I was going to say, I love how vulnerable she is. And she's just like, I fucked up in so many ways,
and trying to prevent that. Right.
Yes, of course.
So,
of course, but owning her shit.
I love it.
And being able to talk about it in such a real way is just.
It was so relatable.
Very relatable. And it just makes it so much easier to listen to or read because you want to hear more, because you're like, okay, that makes so much sense. What else does she have to say?
It kept me totally engaged.
Yeah.
And the boys liked it, which was really good for them to hear too.
I wish I listened to that at their age.
Well, you already implemented it.
I did, but for most,
you're ahead of most. But
that's what happens when you go to boarding school at 14. so
that's what happens when you raise yourself.
Exactly. So there you go.
Anyway, well, that's I think
we were going to wrap
it up for today.
Yes, I think our next episode is remote. You're traveling, correct?
Or yes.
We don't know. Stay tuned.
I am traveling, but I'll be back. I'm coming back Sunday, so I think I'll be okay.
Okay.
But yes, thank you. Like, subscribe, share.
All the above.
We love traction. We love to hear comments. We
questions.
Love to have,
we love the questions.
Or even subject matter. If there's anything that you guys want us to try to figure out, we will.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to talk about it.
We love talking and sharing.
We love all of that.
So anyway, thanks everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for joining in.
Have a great afternoon.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in and listening to this week's episode of JK, It's Not About You.
You can write in and ask your questions on our show's Instagram page at JK, It's Not About You, and we will address your questions on the next week's episode.
If this episode helped you, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family.
Share the fun with all those that can benefit from a good laugh or cry with us.
Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we would greatly appreciate you.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.